Good evening, all. Ooh. Having some flake. I've had a stressful afternoon. Good evening, all. Hi. Hi, both. I'm all hot and bothered. Had a very stressful afternoon. But I've got some nice photos again today. That was good. A little video I've done again in the garden of the birds. I haven't looked at it yet. I've got another one on the laptop here being edited from last night's walk. Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Let's just say it's a big argument with my sister, my husband. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. More than a bit of drama. Yeah. Let's just say it came to this. I didn't punch anyone, but my brother-in-law did end up on the floor. Fell backwards. I don't know what happened, whether he lost his balance or whatever. He approached me and I must have, you know, pushed him away and he went backwards. So then he came at me with a fist and hit me in the stomach, but I've got a big stomach, so it just bounced off. We cleared the air in the end anyway. But there was a lot of words said, which was, oh, you've come in here now. I don't know what's wrong with Lady. I think she knows that I got stressed out today because she won't leave my side. And she never really lies next to me. This is the second time she's done this today in this room. I don't know. I think she's feels I need comforting. Anyway, it was lovely to see our first puppy out today. Here's Lady's wagging her tail. I know she does, yeah. Yeah, I knew that as well, yeah. Yeah. In fact, I suppose I've never really watched weddings and that before, but to me it seemed a bit. It didn't seem too bad. Found them really boring, the past ones, but the bit what I saw, you know, when I was walking through the room and that, because I never sat down and watched them. Yeah. Hi, Linda. Yeah, I know what you mean, Peter, about the gooseberries. I was not as bad as that, but I was getting 3 or 4 new plants a year off mine. That's funny, Linda. Mm, we always eat midday, well, 11 o'clock in the morning actually, but just sandwiches in the evening. Yeah, I know that name. That's a light red one. Am I right? Which I know I've got some, definitely. I assumed it was the red ones. We've got 2. Yeah, I know that they're nice. They were my mum's favourites. I had 2 of those. I did have a very large green one. And then another 2 I'd planted in the plot, which I assume now will probably be quite big, but though I couldn't see them through the weeds. So, hmm. Yeah, it's a nickname for gooseberries. Yes, of course you can. My mum eats them, without cooking. Eats them all. The key thing is though, you've got to wait until they're soft so you can actually press them in. If they're hard, then they're going to be sour. But if they're soft, then you'll be all right. Ah, is that the Livingstone one, Peter? The Livingstone rhubarb. I've got some of that. Yeah, I've got. All right, I'm not familiar with that one. Never heard of it. But I know the Livingstone is the one which um, goes for 10 months of the year. I've got a couple of those. I've got, I think I've got 13 or 15 rhubarb plants on the plot. Maybe next year I'll be able to crop it, and who knows. I've through having this very heated argument today, I've made it clear I need more time, and some of that time's going to have to be spent possibly at the allotment. Ah, I've never done it, forced it. I've tried, but then I lost patience. But my rhubarb tends to be through anyway in March, sometimes ready to pick then, even earlier sometimes. First, one year I picked a stick in December. Yes, I had a really bad argument with my sister and brother-in-law, and it ended up with my brother-in-law falling backwards on the floor because he confronted me, and I think I just went like this, pushed him out of the way, and he went backwards, and then he came at me with this, and that never happens, but they're just, yeah. So yeah, it was not great. Yeah, they said a lot of bad things which upset me, but they left in good terms. How long it lasts for, I don't know. I just wish that I was on my own somewhere, you know. I didn't need to. I could just get away from them. Yeah, and I apologised as well. So anyway, it comes down to on Thursday we're going to discuss what times I want and that. Thank you, Diana. Yeah, I said to Catherine, my friend, and I think I might have said it to Paula, that I knew something was going to happen today. It all started off as soon as my sister and brother-in-law came in, because we'd had somebody to do with the wills came, and it was to do with probate, which we didn't think we even needed, and it turns out that we do. And he went through some of what coming in, and he says, well, can't really help with you because it's going to cost you £6,000 to £8,000. We ain't got the money, so we got another one. SP Dudes, who's that? Yeah. Well, we're getting a few joining tonight, aren't we, folks? Welcome to the new ones. Hi, John. I've subscribed to your channel, by the way, but I started watching it at breakfast, but then things happened, and I will finish maybe later or tomorrow morning. Yeah, I know what bullying's like because I had it all through my infant and primary school. Basically because my mum was German, and that's what I had. Because back in those days there wasn't many people from abroad, and I got picked on every day, teased, and because I was so shy, it didn't help matters. I know what you mean, Madeline. Yeah, yeah. I did say about the time and that you'll have to come and spend half the day and that, but didn't like that. Said I'll come when I feel like it. That's all right, John. Not sure what you mean, Peter. Are you talking to somebody else? Oh, I'm going to get my pen out again today, folks, because I found last night when I was using it, it helped matters. Don't need to get close up, I can just go like this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh well, we'll see. How are you, Ducky? Oh, she keeps looking up at me. I'm talking to my friends online. Yes. You're a good girl, aren't you? Yeah, I don't. You obviously can sense I'm a bit stressed, eh? Hi, Bibico. Don't think so. Paula, I spoke to her earlier and she was quite bright. We didn't see her yet. She'd seen the doctor because she was in pain, so I can't remember now what she said. Maybe she might join later. Hi, Summer Green. Hi, Pat. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like all the photos. I've got a. Oh, I better be careful with this, aren't I? This is going to melt. I think it's already melted. I left it on the laptop. No, it's not yours, lady. What was I saying? Yeah, I've got a video going up from the walk last night. I've got a video what's just been uploaded, I think, to YouTube, which is from a morning little stroll over a couple of days. And I've took some more photos towards tea time today, where I've got the squirrel and what have you, some different shots, different angle. Did you hear that, lady? Diana's just telling me her cat was watching the telly, watching the birds. Yeah, Oh, yeah, I've forgotten about it. I've done another one. I think it was an hour and a half in the garden. I've put up a new another bird feeder, and so it's a different angle, and I left it on. But I've not watched that either yet. So no, it isn't. That's not normal for every 3 months and that. Of summer green. So maybe you've got a virus or something. I would get it checked. Okay, Linda. Yeah, probably will. I think a lot of the antiviruses, Summer Green, offer a free version and a paid one. From my experience, the free ones will only pick up about 80% of what the bought ones do. AVG free used to be brilliant, but then it went downhill. I've not used it for a few years because that was one what I used to install, and now I just stick with BullGuard. Is it Bull? Yeah, BullGuard, and I buy it when it's on offer. Right. When anyone puts out John, I know what you mean. We bought some of those. It's all right, lady. We bought some of those fats. I forgot what you call them. The rectangle ones for the feeders, and they're getting through. They're getting through 2 a day. And if I put more out, they'll get through those as well. Hi, Patricia. I must admit, we've never been fond of starlings, but they are entertaining, I suppose, and they're keeping me mum. She's watching them and that. So, and sometimes they do bring in the other birds. Right. So in my garden, what we've had in the past, blue tits, great tits, coal tits, long-tailed tits. We have goldfinches come, starlings, dunnock, hedge sparrows, occasional magpie, common ones, blackbird, robin, sometimes a missel thrush. What else? Don't see many greenfinches, although I did see one a few weeks back. They used to be very popular, but then there was a disease what wiped them out in this area. That's all right, Sylvia. Here now. Yeah, a jay is a bird that I've only seen probably a handful of times in my life. Red kite is something what would I'd love to see in film. I have seen one, I think, at the allotment, but I didn't have any camera gear with me. Yes, wren. We've got those in the garden. I've always had one in the garden since we've been here. Sylvia, it's been a bad afternoon. Big argument with my sister and my brother-in-law, and yeah, never had anything quite like it before. I knew it was coming, but it was bad. I know, song thrushes. We used to have them all the time, and now you rarely ever see one. Not very common here at all, John. Very rarely see one. Oh, well, I try to. The trouble is I can't get the right words out. So when I'm against my sister and my brother-in-law, you know, they'll really lay into me and that and about everything. And then I try to, you know, to say the right things back, but often I can't think what to say. Well, I did try to, and then my brother-in-law stepped in, and that's when I pushed him, and he ended up on the floor. Then he came at me with a fist and just tapped me in the stomach, but I've got a lot of fat, so it just bounced off. And that's the first time he's ever touched me. Yeah, first time. I said that, Madeira. I did. Sorry, Madeline. Sorry, I'm a bit far away from the screen. And she said, I'm not doing that. I've retired now. I'll come when I feel like it. I'm not spending half the day. So, oh, don't get me started on Frank Spencer. That's the only person that I can do an impression of. Yeah. Used to love that program. David. Okay, I can just, it's just the words, not the face. Betty, the cat's done a whoopsie on the settee. Yeah, it's often the case there's problems when it's like this, Summer Green. No, but they've got a way that, Pat, that they can twist things around and blame everything on me. They even said, well, you only went and saw Dad 4 times in the hospital. But what do? I'm looking after Mum all the time, you know. I couldn't get in there. They know that I suffer from anxiety attacks with driving when it's hospitals and that. And then I had, the first few weeks I had chest infection, and then a viral infection, then back to a chest infection. So I was told not to go in. But yeah. Yeah, I loved it. It was a great program. Yeah, there was a lot of good comedies back in the 70s, 80s, or early 80s. Well, late, I suppose, mostly all in the 70s actually. I'm just trying to get. I'm missing all these messages. I don't know what's happening there. I've got message. I think I've got it on the wrong setting. I can't alter it, I don't think, from here. Let me just have a look. What's this do? No, that don't do it. The bridge, is that the Scandinavian one? Because I know there's two versions. I've watched some of it. Innocent, I did hear somebody tell me about that. I thought I'd got it recorded, but maybe I have. It's not on this, not on there, so maybe it might be on the living room. I'll have to check. That's tall. 6'2". Anyway, folks, if I'm missing some of your messages, I apologise. They're not all appearing at the bottom, and when I sometimes scroll up, I can see messages that I never saw. I think it's the setting. It's it's it should be the most recent be at the bottom, but it's not. I think it's set for the, I don't know, there's something wrong with it anyway. I don't know what I am now. I used to be 5 foot, between 5'9" and 10. I'm not quite sure. It depends whether I'm stretching or not. You would if you were the size my brother-in-law is. Not brother-in-law, my cousin. He's 6 foot. I'm sure it's 6'9" or 6'10". Well, they do say that you shrink in age. Certainly, my dad did. At one time, he was tall. He was like 5'11" and a half, I think. But then in the end, he was shorter than what I am. So we've got no Paula again. She must be sleeping. Let's have a look, see whether she's made an appearance on Facebook Messenger. Huh. Well, she's seen my messages, but she hasn't replied, so I don't know where she is. 26 minutes ago, she made an appearance. Wow, 107, that's a good age. Yeah, I've got an SLR with 3 lenses, and I tend to use 2 of them mostly. There's a dedicated macro one, which I use for close-ups, and can use it for portraits. And then I've got a 150-600 zoom lens, which I use for the wildlife. Now the photos what you've seen could be sharper, but I think they're mostly been good enough, and they've all been taken by hand.
New message is received from Catherine Johnson.
No tripod, which they say you need for that lens because it's very heavy. It's a big thing. Don't think. No, I've got it in the other room. Yeah, I think they're fine, and they're good enough for my cards, and good enough for me to do drawings and paintings from. And it tends to come a couple of times a day, so I can get some new ones each day. Took some more this afternoon, which I'm quite pleased about. Although it wasn't there long because Lady frightened it away. Yeah, I can do mine wirelessly as well. I've got the kit for it. Same with the camcorders. It's all there. I can do it from the phone. It's just I need to be relaxed and thinking straight, and at the minute I'm not. So there's a lot of stuff what I could do. I can do multiple cameras, control them and stuff, but I don't. I'll have to get the Panasonic camcorder out. I've not used it yet. Or tested it, and that was it. Get that recording. Just not been in the mood. Yeah, it's the starlings what we're suffering mostly from, but we do have some pigeons. But the starlings, there's been like a dozen starlings on each feed station area. I've got 3 of them dotted around the garden. No, I don't belong to any photography group, photo clubs, other than just the Facebook groups. On quite a few of those for photography and nature and wildlife. Well done on the homework. See, I missed that as well. It's up the top here and I didn't see it. Oh, October. Sylvia, have you not got a digital camera or a phone that's got a camera function? Well, the easiest one way of sharing your pictures is to have a Dropbox account, and then you can upload the pictures to there and share a link to the people who you want to share the photos with. You can always send, if you haven't got a Facebook page or what have you, Sylvia, you can always send it to me and I can add it to a slideshow or whatever from photos from the subscribers or something. I don't know. Could figure something out. Or send it to me by email or messenger or whatever, and I can then hold it up from on the tablet, and so you can see it all. Oh, that's horrible that she hates birds. Birds are lovely. Right, hang on. I know I missed something. What's my favourite plant? Peter was asking. I think it's got to be dahlias. I just love them because I just love the colours, and I love them to photograph, and I enjoy painting them as well. But poppies are very close or equal to them. Yeah, that's there's quite a few varieties what do produce flowers that size. I'm growing them from seed, and there's quite a few. I don't know how many I've got, about 70 or more growing, different varieties. And even I've got 3 tubers now which are really shooting well, about that big tall now, about 1 inch, 25mm shoots. But the other 3 showing no life. I think they've had it, but I'll just leave them a bit longer. Oh yeah. Problem with Lady is that she likes, she can find any dead animal, and the trouble is she enjoys chewing on them as well. So she found, on the walk last night, she found 4 dead ones. No, these weren't cats. No, I don't know. A lady tries to chase them when I'm on the lead. And the marigolds, they're growing. There's only about a dozen of them. Yeah, mine were planted late. Never mind though. I know seagulls can be a nuisance, but I do kind of miss the sound of the seagulls because they always remind me of the holidays, because we don't really get many around here. I mean, you will get some flying above, and when the farmers have ploughed and that, they will be in the fields, but not many. Right, I'm not sure about keeping the ants away, keeping them when you want to pick them, I can focus on back. I was just saying, one way to protect your dahlias, was it dahlias? Well, whatever plant, if you put some fairy liquid or some, some washing liquid around it, that will stop them from going up. It was something what I discovered in Australia. They'd use this, and when we went walking in the bush, when we came across these campsites, they'd have a big metal water container, and you'd put your rucksacks and your clothes and everything on top, and what you'd do then is put this fairy liquid all the way around, and that stopped the ants from going over your stuff. Right, Peter, I've not been able to go do anything on the allotment for nearly 2 years now because of my care duties. I just can't get away. I haven't got the time. I've only had two hours a week, and in that time I have to fit in the shopping and get the medications from the chemist and all that sort of thing. But I've still got the plots. Okay. Computer-wise, Peter, well, I build desktop. Well, I did build desktop ones, but not low end, only high end. Yeah, I've seen it when I've been to Wells next to sea and the seagulls scooping down. No, 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 what I meant was majority of people these days don't want an expensive computer. Now, when I started my computer repairs and that, computer support, I should say, I'd be building computers from the very basic right the way up. But as time has gone by, can no longer get the equipment at a reasonable price. It's especially when we had all this with the EA and that. It's it added about, well, some things went up 50% in price, but well before then. So no. 20,000. The most I've built was 2.5 for somebody. That was a gaming machine. The graphics card alone was about £700. Yeah, I've just got one client now, and every few years he wants a new gaming one built. I think I've built 3 for him now. Yeah, I might know a few things, but I never make much money from it. It's marketing what I'm not very good at. Well, Peter, that's probably not going to really help you that much, because it's all a matter of, with a computer, is swapping the parts. You can't really fix things, because you can't get the individual components. You have to swap the cards. So I think anyone could probably build a computer if they knew which parts went with which, and they knew about the operating system and software. Yeah, I mean, I learnt all my skills on for computers through magazines, because they'd have video CDs and stuff on them, and also what else? There's a great website you have to subscribe to called lynda.com, and they've got all the different tutorials for all the different softwares and everything computer related and that, and I learned a lot from that. Yeah, so I don't know how long have I been fixing computer building? I suppose probably about 30 years I've been building. Hang on, let me catch up with some of the messages. Yeah, Linux. I haven't used it for... had it on the computers for maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. But I used to try all the different ones. The SUSE, the... just trying to think, which ones did I have? Mint. Yeah, I went through quite a few of them, but I found those problems with the devices what I had plugged into the computer not being compatible. Also, I needed at the time Adobe, and you couldn't have that for it. Okay, see you, David. Bye. What is the time? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Bye, John. Yeah, I've got to do some dailies tomorrow, I think. Can you hear a noise, folks? Just give me a minute. I just need to check what that is. No idea. Hi, Joden. Yeah, it's it's been a stressful afternoon. I've told the story a few times, so yeah, let's just say not great. Yeah, Apple. I've never had one. I've used them, and I found that my computers were quicker, and obviously the pricey and that. I've always said you get what you pay for, and if you want an Apple and you had the money and you bought a PC for the same price, then you would get something quite good. But I do like my iPad. So if I did have the money in that, then I'd quite happy have one. But I'd like to know how to repair it, which is the tricky part. Not so much now because I use a lot of PC parts, but it used to be. It When you say it's slow, did you buy it brand new or second hand? If it's a brand new one, just like any computer, over time it will slow down because you're getting more and more stuff put on it. So it needs, sometimes it might need resetting. Sometimes they're not set up right from new, and so they won't be right then. Sometimes some computers are sold with too little RAM. Oh, that's interesting, Peter. I know Rick, he's gone into that sort of thing. Right, I'm starting to get tired now. What's the most frustrating thing you can do, Peter? What? Astrophotography? Is that because of the lack of clear nights? Oh, right. You'll never know how to do all the stuff, Sylvia. Nobody does. There's too much to learn. It's just a matter of grasping the basics, and once you've learnt the basics on one operating system, you can usually follow it through on future versions. But you'll never know everything. I don't know. I can't. One or two people said that about Windows 10. I suppose it depends on what you came from beforehand, but I think Windows 10's great. I like Windows 7 as well. Windows 8 I hated. Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Linda, and you enjoy your evening. Hi, Paul. Ah, yeah, you would have, Peter, because it's that time of the month when the updates come through. Probably find that, I'm just thinking, I think I left the laptop on sleep last night, so it wouldn't have come through. But I won't be surprised if there is some on the other computer. Well, I don't think there's that much difference between Windows 7 and 10, other than a few, it's certainly a little better on the for photography. Oh, goodbye, Patricia. Windows operating system, Windows 10, there's always updates going in around this time of the month, around the 20th and that. Give or take a day or two. And they stagger the updates so they don't all come out at the same time. Yeah, but I've heard that Macs are getting quite popular now with becoming more aimed at for those creating viruses and that. So yeah, nothing's really safe these days. Okay, bye, Biblical. I'll see you tomorrow. And I think, folks, I'm going to call it a night because I need to get this 2 videos uploaded, finished off tonight if I can, and get the other one off the camcorder into here and ready to be sorted for tomorrow. Plus I've got a few photos what I took to get in, so I want to get that sorted before I go to bed. So I'm going to say thanks for joining. It's been a nice, interesting chat again. I'm sorry for being a bit down in the dumps at times. And I shall hopefully get some more video and more stuff done tomorrow. Well, I will have to. I've got to get some of the dailies transplanted, so I'll be doing a video from in there, probably first thing in the morning. Thank you, Pat. Yep. Night, Madeline. Okay. Good night to all of you in the UK, and good afternoon to all of those in the US. Yes, sorry Paul, been on for hour and 20 minutes, so, well no, hour and 11 minutes. That's enough now. Okay then folks, bye bye. Night Babs.